it's a box! Hey guys, and welcome back to El Chizo Reviews. Today I've got something I've wanted to review for a while, something I've wanted to own for a while, and now I've got it. This is the Ultra Egg Scanner. Actually, this isn't the Ultra Egg Scanner, this is the box that the Ultra Egg Scanner comes in. We'll get to the actual Ultra Egg Scanner in a minute. Little backstory for this thing. If you watch Ultraman, then you'll know about Galaxy M78 and whatnot, and where most of the Ultras come from. If you don't, I'll leave a link to the Ultraman wiki in the description. But basically, this thing doesn't exist in the main Ultraman universe. It exists in a parallel universe where all the other Ultramen are just TV shows, kind of like they are in real life. And Ultraman Nice, the Ultraman of that universe, comes from the planet Toy 1. Sounds like paradise to me. In his universe, yeah, like I said, the Ultraman only exist in the shows that we know. And Nice and his family collect all the Ultraman toys that come out as they come out and play with them, and they have a good time. And for one reason or another, Ultraman Nice adopts the pseudonym of Dr. Egg and studies these little toys called Ultra Eggs. And basically, through his study, he develops this thing, well, the thing that comes in this box, in order to unlock the powers of the Ultra Heroes and the Kaiju that sleep within the eggs. Okay, enough backstory, let's actually look at the box. On the front, we see the egg scanner with Dr. Egg in the corner there. And over on this side, we have a little frame by frame going through how you're supposed to use the egg scanner. You see he's holding it up to the tip of the scanner. He's put it in there. He's pulling the trigger. And boom, he's summoned the monster and using its power. On this side, from the best I can tell, he's explaining how the Ultra Eggs work, exactly what the scanner is looking for. Is looking for a little sticker like that. If you do watch Ultraman and that looks familiar to you, we will go over that in a minute. And down here, it's just more of, you know, buy more Ultra Eggs. On the top, we see, you know, Dr. Egg here doing his Dr. Egg thing. And over here, we see the 7 elements that exist within these Ultra Eggs. And, you know, through some lazy translation, the best I can understand them is this is shining, that's rising, or I guess it's meant to be thunder, so Raijin. And that's healing, burning, watering, you know, like in a garden, icing, no, not like on a cake, and loving. This got Captain Planet up in here real quick, didn't it? On the back, we see pretty much everything we saw everywhere else on the box. You know, 7 elements, Ultra Egg, what the Ultra Egg does with this little spinning gimmick there, how to put the Ultra Eggs in, all that goodness. Okay, we're done with that. Now let's back this up, point it down, and we can bring on the main event, the actual toy. As we can see, it's supposed to look like an Ultraman's head, specifically Ultraman Nice's head. You know, it's got the 2 yellow eyes, it's got the red head crest, it's got the blue and red details. So yeah, it's very reminiscent of his head. It's got the Ultra Egg logo on the side, although it's missing a G, but we won't judge it for that. It's English. On the same spot on the other side, we have an oddly placed speaker because, you know, I'm not going to say the majority of people are right-handed, but I know a lot of right-handed people, so when they're playing with this, you know, the speaker is going to be facing away from them. But there is, you know, turning away from that, there is lots and lots of molded detail in this silvery gray plastic that has some swirling. No, that's not dust on it, that's, you know, the way the plastic cooled. And that usually means that the plastic is weaker than you would expect. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this and just make sure. But, you know, silvery plastic. Up near the front here at the barrel, there's some gunmetal gray to break everything up. Some gunmetal gray around the logo and around the speaker, as I showed you before. And there's a big chunk of gunmetal gray plastic back here with more of that lovely molded detail. And at the sticker, I forgot to mention, sticker back here that shows off the 3 functions of the gun. We'll go into that in a minute. And at the tip of the gun, right here at the tip of the barrel, is that beautiful Bondi metallic paint that I love. This is metallic blue, but every single metallic color the Bondi does just looks astounding. You know what, I think most of the other toy reviewers that I've seen will agree with me. Now, it's got a tiny little handle here that barely fits my hand. I mean, yeah, granted you could argue this is a kid's toy, but not all children's hands are this tiny. It would make more sense to make a bigger handle that's more comfortable for all hands and doesn't alienate smaller hands. You know, that's just my opinion. Take it or leave it. To actually place the egg in the gun, you know, I mentioned that when we were going over the box, you have to hit this little release back here and swing that forward. I love that because it almost reminds me of like a barrel break, but not really because barrel's over here. And inside we have this egg capsule that will, once you put the egg in it and pop it in, it will spin. However, because it's open, it's been locked. You cannot fully spin it when you pull the trigger. My thumbs are off of that. This is me pulling the trigger. That's about as far as it goes. It's on the little ratcheting wheel. I don't know. A little Russian roulette sound there. But it's on a ratcheting wheel that, like I said, locks when this is open. Now that we've gone over the externals, we can go over functionality. Now, if you watch Ultraman at all, then this will make sense to you. It operates on a similar system to the DX Ginga Spark. You know, I'll put a picture in right here. If you don't know what the Ginga Spark is, it's a lot like this, as you'll understand as I review it. There are little stickers on the toys that it works with, and it reads the code that's in those stickers to understand which one it is you're showing it, so that it can, you know, unlock the stats and little phrases and whatnot that it's got pre-programmed in here. This one is programmed for over 100 different Ultra eggs, but not all Ultra eggs are compatible with it, because they don't all have that sticker. Anywho, this does not work with Spark Dolls, at least to my experience with the one Spark Doll that I own. Anyway, let's turn it on. It defaults to element charge mode, which can tell you what element is in your egg. I guess the concept is to like fire it like a laser beam. Quiet, you all turn that off for a minute. I guess the concept is to fire it like a laser beam to slay or tame evil kaiju. Now, this does not come with any eggs. That one I showed you earlier was one that I bought separately. It does come with this little card that they call the... Hold on, let me bring it up here. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, autofocus. The Ultra Egg Scan Sheet. And that's just the same thing right down there in katakana. And it's got the codes for 6 eggs on it. Now, also Dr. Egg himself has his own little code. Now let's turn this bad boy on again, because I want to show you what the Dr. Egg code does first. We'll pull a trigger, and hold on, I want to show you these lights. Let me readjust the camera. Shut the heck up. I'm trying to review you here. Hold on. Fix your day. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I don't know if you can see that. I'll turn off the light so you can see. Scanning Dr. Egg.
たちをスキャンすることで新たなパワーを与えることができる超すごいマシンなんだ。
Basically, he just said that this unlocks the power of the Ultra Eggs and that it's a super cool machine. If we pull the trigger,
チャージモードはエッグスキャンをするとウルトラエッグに7つの属性パワーを与えることができるぞ。
he basically goes over the element charge mode. Now, the rest of them, like I said, serve as eggs, and I'll turn that off and edit in some footage of all of them after I get through all of this, and I'll splice it in right here. But for some reason the gun knows that this is the card and therefore will not ask you to put the egg in here. However, because we have already bought an egg separately, I will once again turn off the lights, scan that little thing, and we will go through the motions. Now, what it's going to ask me to do is it's going to ask me to put it in here, and you're going to see why that's a bit of a problem for anyone who's playing with the toy for the first time, but they do pick it up really quickly. Lights off. Scanner on. Gotta open this up, take this bad boy out, and get it in there before it stops talking at me. Now we have to pull the trigger a few times. 6 times, if I'm correct. That was him saying we're almost there. Now, for some reason, lights back on, I get when I put Ultraman in there, it just gives me whatever element the light lands on. If you haven't figured it out by now, each of those lights corresponds with another element. There's really nothing special about it. I've gotten Shining out of this and out of the card. I've gotten Rising, Loving, Burning, Watering, Icing, not Healing yet. I have yet to land on Healing. I'll try to splice that in later too. And I'll splice that in right here. But, you know, it's pretty similar for all of the elements. Now, like I said, even though it doesn't come with any eggs... Oh, didn't realize I had that off. You have to... I do kind of wish they had at least included one egg with it instead of the card, because these in and of themselves are fun little toys, and I will do a separate review of these once I get a few more later. Let's pop this back together. When you're putting this back together, by the way, you want to make sure that these red arrows line up, and they've got 2 little tabs on the side, which is why it's kind of stressful, because you've got a time limit when it asks you to set the egg. You've got about, I think it will remind you about 3 times, then it cancels it. Let's move on to the next mode. This is actually my favorite mode, because what it does is it gives you the stats of whatever hero or kaiju is in these eggs. I know, I'm hurrying up. So, as far as I've found, you don't need to put your egg in for this. Sometimes it asks for it. I don't know if there was a weird lemon feature in mine, but here we go. Yep, you don't have to put the egg in. Analyze OK, and then what it'll do is that with each trigger pull it'll give me another set of stats.
名前はウルトラマン。
This hero's name is Ultraman.
40メートル、体重3万5000トン。
That was his height and his weight. That would be 40 meters and several thousand pounds.
ヒーロータイプだ。
He's a hero type.
正確だぞ。
And that's it. I can't understand that last bit. Now, obviously, for any of these modes, if you want to go back to scanning something instead of just utilizing the information of the egg you've already scanned, just hit this button again.
X ガンモード。
Now I'm going to show you with the card as well, because it's got some of my it's got two of my favorite Ultraman enemies. King Joe. Catchy little jingle, isn't it? Really catchy. Okay, so it's analyzed King Joe, who is a giant robot. I dig giant robots. Oh, I gotta start over. Sorry, I waited too long. I'll skip this in the video. You'll see he said Naruhodo, meaning I see. Now, let's get King Joe's stats. Calls King Joe a kaiju, which isn't really accurate. I'm not even gonna bother translating that. Mechanic type. Okay, and we're gonna scan one more off the card. And it's gonna be Gomora, which is a very popular kaiju from the Ultraman series. Okay, let's see what Gomora has. It's a power type. Okay, I'm going to turn this off again one more time. I mean, I don't have to, but it makes the review easier. The last mode is Egg Henke, or transformation mode. And what it basically is it tries to see how fast you are at transforming these eggs. Now what I'm going to do is turn this on, hit the button twice, hit transformation time trial mode. Here comes the buzzer. And then I pull the trigger. And obviously, you know, it can't tell if you've actually completed it, so if you do it again and... we just wait for the buzzer. Basically says you were really fast. Basically says you're really fast. Like I said, it's easy to dupe this thing, which I do a lot. This is a really fun toy. Hey guys, for some reason my camera cut off there at the end, but what I wanted to say was that this toy, do I have it sitting around here? Oh yeah, it's right back here. The egg scanner here actually had me legitimately playing with it. Like, you know, like you would as a little kid. You know, sitting around my room pretending to slay evil kaiju, pew pew noises and all. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this toy if you're an Ultraman fan and you like collecting, you know, little gimmicks or standalone figurines. It's really worth it. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and please leave a like and a comment down below. If you actually like my new opening sequence, you know, with the new logo and everything, and my new channel art, the guy who's responsible for those is also chilling in the description below. His name is Trevor. He's a good friend of mine. I'll try to link his YouTube channel. It's basically a music channel where I think he records skits with his friends sometimes on a separate channel. I'll ask him if he wants me to put that up. If you want to see something in particular on this channel, leave a comment, let me know below, and I will see if I can do it. If you have some constructive criticism as to what I can do to make this show better, let me know. I would love to improve to entertain you guys better. Thank you so much for watching again. This is El Chizo Reviews, and I'll see you next time.